What's going on, everybody? So today, a couple of things I want to look at. First of all, kind of give the preface of what we're doing today. I think I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go play season two of KVK again. Prior to doing that, though, I want to kind of watch some of these season one fights and. There's four kingdoms involved we're watching today: 2989, 2990, 2991, and 2992. And I think it's 90 versus 92 and 89 versus 91. So we're going to peek in. We're going to see kind of what the turnout is on these runes fights, and we're going to see what commanders they're using too. Because again, it's been a minute since I've been back in KVK 2 or KVK 1 especially. Alright, so the first one we're looking at is the 90, and they're on the north side, the side up here, and 92 are coming in from the south. So, it looks like 90 is all the way back at their pass already. It's not a great start. The ruins start in about 30 minutes? 37 minutes. I'm assuming they'll need to push out here in the next 15-20 minutes to try to at least give them a fight for the ruins. However, it's not usually a good indication that there's not many people stacked up right here. Let's go to the other side of the map and see what we're doing over there for the ruins fight. Where are we at? There we are. Oh, this one seems much more contested. Who we have fighting up here? 9WW is fighting on the north side, and we have E92D. Looks pretty evenly matched right now. So a few things sticking out to me. You can see there's an overwhelmingly big presence of Minamotos, which, you know, for season one, being able to buy into a commander, I guess what, less than $20 to get a 5111 Minamoto, not usually the worst. And lots of Charles Martels, love it. And there's one, is it Thutmose? Say that is. It's been a while since I used him. I don't think I've ever used him. Yeah, Thutmose. I don't remember what he does. I guess for season one, though, if you had him leveled up 511 and you had an E-Sun go along, that's a pretty legit march. So turnout looks pretty consistent. Seeing a lot more sad faces marching back right now on the south side, on the 9WW side. I'm sorry, on the E92 side. Oh. It does look like the south side's getting quite a few more reinforcements, but it could just be the time of the fight they're in. A lot of times you got marches marching back, you don't have the ability to send new troops in. So this one's a real good fight. What I may do here in a few minutes too, especially right before the ruin starts, if nothing really is going on, I'll put on a little bit of music and we'll just watch, and I might overlay a little bit when I see things starting to change. But this is a good fight. Man, there's an Ethelfled in there too. Ethelfled's a super legit commander, right? In KVK 1, you basically get her for free. She has pretty good damage. The only problem, though, I see with Ethelfled is she is very slow. I don't think we have any big whales in either one of these alliances here. We'll look. There's 145 and 150 million power players, so they get a couple of T5s. Same alliance. Yeah. this side over here. Now, this is hard. I think they're broken up in 2 different alliances, right? Yeah. These are 2 different alliances, so they're all using the same alliance to get through the pass, which is awesome. Trying to share passes on a rune spot really does stink. It's hard to get people through. You have people waiting, trying to get through, and inevitably somebody hops in the pass and gets killed. So, yeah, using one alliance to fight all the way through is probably the best. Look up here and see if there are how many T5 players they have on this side. Ooh, they have 163 million, so he not only has T5, but he's got quite a few, probably some T5 troops to go along with it as well. Another 65 million power player. Okay. Let's go hop over to the other side and see if it's getting a little more active over here. Not so much. How long do they have? They still right at 30 minutes. So they have 30 more minutes before runes open, but both sides turnout looks relatively low in comparison to the other side we're watching. The other side we're watching, it's pretty impressive. What's everybody using? So a few calves, a few archers. Man, see a lot of Belisariuses. But like in season 1, that's kind of what happens a lot, right? Like you start fighting a large T5 player, you get out of position, you need to get out of there really fast. So Belisarius is a good call. Now Scipio here, I don't know if that's probably where you want to end up at, but again, you're a 8 million power player. It kind of makes sense if you just bring something. You do probably want to be hiding a little bit on that murder ball if you're not a high power player. This guy's 20 million, so he's probably got a lot better tech. I'm interested to kind of get some reports here in a few minutes for some of these guys. All right. Yeah, Scipio's fine, especially when you're trying to buff a march, but as far as being a primary, I would try to really stay away from a non non-prime Skippy. You get Season of Conquest, that's totally fine, but looks like 92 is pushing up and they have control of the ruins. Now, here's an interesting part of this type of fighting is if you have a similar number of players, the further you extend, the further your refresh time is, right? So they have these marches getting sent back. Sad faces, they usually move faster than, a regular march. So like regular march marches back, refresh time is like what, a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to get all the way back to your city. Pull that same march out and come back. The good news is for this side over here, the north side, who's getting pushed back a little bit, their refresh time is gonna be a lot faster. So that's kind of why if it's at least close, you get some good ruin spots. It's like both sides have their king skill active. Let this ride for a few minutes and kind of see what happens a little bit closer to when the runes open. Yeah, I'd be interested to see. Let's see if we can get some of these reports. We'll see what they say. Yeah, during well, KVK 1, 2, and 3, everybody's really heavy into infantry, and it makes sense, right? Most people when they start off, they're going to save sculptures probably for either Richard on the Richard wheel, which I'm not for sure that has great long term value, but during season 1 and 2, he's a stud, so good for them. Um, or you're going to save up your sculptures for YSG, and then if you save up for YSG, a very natural pairing is a Alex. So yeah, a lot of these people going in season 2 and 3 will be using a lot of infantry, and it all kind of makes sense. Your choices on really good long term archer or calves are not great, especially if you're not spending. Right, if you're not spending, or if you are spending Minamoto double C, that's a solid, super solid pair for a very long time. In a ruins fight, though, if you get focused, it can get really squishy really fast. No reports yet. So there are a few things you can do, and you kind of see these people doing on the sides right here, and like kind of get over here to the left and right hand side, especially if your marsh is going to be a little bit squishy, you know, like these Sun Tzus. Now in later KVKs, you probably don't want to have any epics as a primary, but in season 1 and 2, it's totally acceptable. However, they do get exposed to a lot of AoE if you're staying there in the middle, and that's part of the reason why you're using Sun Tzu is for the AoE. However, you're also going to take a lot of AoE as well. And here's another. Okay. Man. He was using L Sid. We'll see what happens as far as getting some stuff shared with us. It's always kind of fun to look at these reports because in season 1, 2, a lot of players are missing tech. not even just your regular tech inside your academy. So yeah, reports get really weird really fast. I was watching a stream, I think it was last week, with a guy named Jason, I believe who it was. He's a 140 million power whale in a season 1 of KVK, and he was kind of getting overwhelmed, and he started using a Martel Caesar, which is a very, I'd say, unconventional pair. However, he traded really positive, and it wasn't because he was putting his march in good positions. It wasn't because he was expertly navigating the field. It was because his tech was just really good in comparison to everybody else he was facing. Most players in season 1 are what, between 10 and 20 million. It's somewhere in the middle there. And if you're a full tech player, you're 50 million, 48, 45, something like that. So yeah, just on your tech alone makes a massive difference on these fights. How much longer we got to these open? 23 minutes. So you can see this player here was really out of position, and in a struggle like this, it's not always the worst to run your march to the other side. If you can see that one player drug 30 marches back to the other side of the ruins, 30 marches less on that side, you can see the whole north side's that, what was it, 9 WWs pushing back in. So, in general, as far as trading purposes, suiciding your march into a bunch like that is not the best idea. However, it does move the field a little bit. Takeaway too is if you're on that 92D side, you probably don't want to chase. I know it's tempting. I've done it too. You see a march really really out of position, you're going to get some really good trades. However, you're going to give up the field a little bit. And I'm assuming right now their whole goal is to get them pushed out of the ruins before it turns on. See who this guy is. He's trading really positive right here. Well, I'll take that back. He may not be trading super positive. He was tanking for a long time, but it also, it shored up or slowed down, 5-10 marches from getting to the backside. So, yeah, I don't love the idea of running into the other side, but it happens, especially when you're working on just the mobile side and you disconnect, or you freeze, or for whatever reason. Let's hop back over to the other side. See if we have anything else happening over here. 91's trying to get their murder ball. That's what 90's doing right now. Not a whole lot. Killing a few barbs, it looks like. They still got 20 minutes to see if they get a murder ball pushed back together. It may be interesting, it may not be. It's the first Boudica we've seen, I believe. All right, we got some reports. So this is the Thutmose Kusunoki. So I guess you're going for that AOE value with that Kusunoki. 5511. Going to a unmaxed Sun Tzu, unmaxed Ethel. And you see he's got a lot more stats on pretty much everything, so again, just a little bit overmatched. Probably a little closer. That's a Max Mechmed. Interesting. So, whoever this guy is right here, he is a... Okay, 83 million Max Mechmed. Okay, that's probably a really good March then. That's probably a super solid March. Oh no. We'll head back over there. I may have accidentally hit a few wrong things. Yeah, so that's a really good March for T5s too, if I had to guess. Okay, so yeah, that was actually a pretty even trade if you look at the power loss up there versus he's using T4s, he's using T4s. So, ooh, that's a really good report. Let's see what the difference is. So yeah, it's teched up pretty high in comparison to this other player. Okay. So pretty even swap on here. As expertise at most, and a 5.55 2 YSG. Man, it kind of stinks that you got more points on that one. That doesn't really do a whole lot for you on the open field. There's a lot of that value you're going to get from Kusunoki, that AoE value. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm assuming this is just a player that he latched onto and kind of rode down. Also, they're using T3 troops, so they don't have a lot of troops to spare. What the difference is? Yeah, power is pretty big too. Yeah, so in this kind of looks back at a lot of these reports. If you can latch onto somebody when they're really low on units and you got a bunch of units, you're probably going to trade positive. Martel, YSG, but he's getting a lot of value, or she is getting a lot of value. They are getting a lot of value. So yeah, a lot of good reports. Nothing crazy in these. Nothing's happening on the right-hand side, it looks like. Hold on. They're getting the ball together. Now, so, honestly, this is how you're supposed to do it, right? You're supposed to get up, tighten the ball, push it forward. I guess the term murder ball has been put out for a long time now, but it is the way the game's played. One of similar sizes right now. This one's still a little bit smaller, but they got people running in. So I don't think they have any really big whales on this side. Fabulous. I think he's probably a T5 player, I'm assuming. I'm unsure of that. Probably is T5. Look on the wall. Here we go. So one, thing to think about, the people who are really spread out, I'm not for sure if 90 is using voice right now. But yeah, if you're using voice, it's very easy to call out these different marches and get them swarmed down really fast. And that is one of the advantages of being to the runes first, right? You're able to get up in that big clump, big ball, making it difficult for them to push you out. So I don't know if they're going to have enough people to push. I'll back there in a few minutes. So it's happening 89 and 91. Anything exciting? Anything different? Ooh, so 89 has pushed 91 all the way down to the south side of the ruins, which is a big shift to what it was, 10-15 minutes ago. Again, I guess that 91 is going to have the refresh now. As long as they're running their marches to sad face instead of walking back, you're going to be able to, have more people in the ruins, fighting more often. It's good and bad because you're going to trade worse, which means you're going to have more of a hospital bill. So as long as you have the resources to keep fight until sad face is the way to go. If you do not have the resources, it's better to get good trades, get to yellow health, and dip out of there. Now this is an interesting tactic over here, using a double C, I'm assuming with mobility talents, to be able to pick off these weaker marches on the backside. as far as helping your alliance, and I'm not sure how much you're doing helping your alliance, but you're going to get some really good kills doing something like this. We're still positioning, still posturing. It still looks like 92 has the numbers. That's what it appears to be. So you can see they're all targeting this Ethelfled now, and really should be able to get out of the way. But yeah, being out of position is a really big deal in the first few seasons. Any season of KVK, you get out of position too far away and you can't get away, that's a problem. King skill in. I guess I'm going to push into the ball now. Was it Professor who was the... No. So again, your Sun Tzu is an awesome march. The problem is not super fast, right? You get in trouble, it's hard to get away. Yeah, if you're this Kusunoki, you probably want to be backing up just a little bit. Assuming the Minamoto's leveled up well, or skilled up well, you're probably not trading super positive with him. Opens in 10 minutes, we go back, check the other side. Yeah, so on this side we're seeing more Richards. Not, I wonder if the people who are running around with Richards are a little more spend heavy. Simply because when you spin him on the wheel, he's a fantastic commander. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, and he gives you a large advantage, right? In these first few. Okay, here we go. So. Go to Richard. I wonder what the secondary is on this one. We'll see if it'll come up. So Minamoto, Richard right here. So yeah, see, two of their heavy spenders are using that Richard, and I'm assuming they're getting a lot of value out of them, right? Now it's kind of funny. Everybody's kind of ignoring the Richard. Depending on who that secondary is. If they start hitting you and you just can't get away, they're going to get a lot of value there. However, they're not high damage marches, right? So they can sustain a really long time, but they'll get good trades. But as far as sending a lot of marches home really fast, probably not going to happen. So you're kind of trading off that really high damage value for that longevity value, and really kind of depends on what type of ruins fight it is. If you're heavily outnumbered, full defense, no damage, goes a really long way, like that Julius Caesar Martel combo. However, if you have really good numbers, you're wanting to pump out really high damage, unless you're getting focused every time. So, this is a good fight. I'm trying to think in season 1, how do you deal with a Richard? I don't believe you have Saladin yet, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I guess the only thing to do is really just to have 3 or 4 or 5 marches ball up and just hit him until he can't out heal, you know? They're very hard to deal with, I have no doubt. Yeah, he's free to play, but you can see obviously he's very focused with his account, and he's very intelligent with what he's been doing. You know, he knows putting those sculptures in Thutmose, which I'm assuming he's doing with his universal golden heads. You know, the only way to get Thutmose is through the golden keys or the keys, and I've been opening those keys for a long time, and my Thutmose is not 5511. So again, assuming he's putting lots of golden heads into him, which is it's interesting. It's an interesting idea, especially season 1, season 2. Not seeing many Burens, which is interesting. You know, Buren has a really good debuff, instant proc damage. Buren's pretty solid. Any season, well, at least the first 3 anyway, he's pretty solid. Let's hop back over now. They should be done posturing over here, and hopefully something's happening. All right, looks like 92 is engaged, and they've pushed 90 all the way back to the pass, or at least most of the way back to the pass. Yeah, it looks like just a simple numbers advantage over here with 92. Like, they just have more people. Gonna open in 5 minutes. Yeah, even if they had a big push coming, it'd be difficult for them to ball up and push all the way back in 5 minutes. This rune spot's pretty much over. It's also interesting too how fast or how early these rune spots are starting. You know, they started well before I even started, recording, which was 30, 45 minutes before. So that was interesting. And it's, again, part of the problem trying to get away. That Sun Tzu is difficult to do. Four minutes. Yeah, if 91 wants us, they can start pushing back up quickly. Excuse me, 92. Yeah, I would have to think using somebody with a lot of AoE gets a lot of value in this one. So using that Sun Tzu YSG, if you happen to have them both in a really good spot, even just a 5-5-1-1 YSG would be pretty amazing here. If your Martell was 5111, you know, that would probably be a good starting place. If you didn't have YSG, you could also go all in on Sun Tzu. You know, Sun Tzu Martell, and this flavor would be good. I think I would probably go with Martell first as a primary, just simply because you're wanting a lot of defense here, and your tech's probably not as high as a lot of other players. So using that defense tree rather than the skill tree. Also, you know, Martell doesn't do any skill damage, so I would assume a lot of the buffs you're getting from that skill tree are not really going to apply quite as much. So, who else? A little while ago, I saw a Kusunoki YSG. Had a player sent me a few reports a few weeks ago or a few days ago. We'll see if we can find those. No, that's not it. Yeah, so Kusunoki YSG was getting pretty awesome trades. You know, I watched them play the other day. But you can see, you know, they're being pretty smart about it. 300,000 units, all T4. The Kusunoki's level 60, 5524. So, yeah, it's a pretty legit March. Season 1. Lots of AoE, which is what you're looking for, right? You're looking for lots of AoE, hitting lots of stuff. The goal is not to get focused out. I don't think too many things for that Kusunoki March. I don't think too many things are going to be a huge detriment. Maybe a Max Minamoto and Double C would be hard to deal with, but yeah, all these Richards would be fantastic. And got a minute. You got to start pushing. Yeah, if you're 92, you got to start pushing up right now. Now, if I remember correctly, they have to be able to push everybody all the way out and have to kill all of the stalkers, if I'm not mistaken, for them to actually capture the runes. So, just pushing them out is not going to be enough. I like that Sid. You know, I think that everybody kind of poo-poos Sid. Man, Sid's really good. Instant proc damage. The only problem with Sid is active skill is really low. But, you know, again, he has that, I think it's a disable for 1 second, and so you stop, well, you could stop a active skill, which means it's totally worth it. But even not, you get 1,000 damage factor, stop that primary attack for 1 turn. He's really good. I remember when I first started, we used Sid, YSG, in the Garrison, and they were very, very strong, especially when the Garrison gets below half health and you don't take it out. That way you're getting that 25% damage boost all the time. Yeah, we'll go back and review those reports. So ruins are up. They're trying to clear the stalkers out as fast as they can. I think they're going to do it. Yeah. Goodness. So here's the problem. How do you clear out the stalkers if everybody's fighting right here? I'm assuming you let the marchers coming up start clearing them out as they come up, and you don't go backwards. There's a Herman watch. Man, again, Herman's pretty good. You got a 2-second silence. damage factor is pretty legit. You also got a lot of speed too, and again, being able to get away from danger can be a great asset. Uh, see what the flow looks like coming in from the other side. So 30 million power, somebody who's got a lot of tech right now in comparison to a lot of other players. He's really picking on those marches that are low health, which, you know, it's not a terrible idea if he's trying to go for kills. The only downside to that is you're going to send those marches back a lot faster, which means if they have the resources, they're coming back a lot faster too. So now the fighting is migrated right back into the ruins. Nobody's captured it yet, I don't believe. So all right, while they're doing this, we'll hop back to the other side and just assume we know what's happening over here. I guess. Let me see. Oh wow, this is a fight too. $91 and $990, if I'm not mistaken, on here. Had them backwards in my notes. Cool. You can see they're pushed all the way in. This is a real fight. You have 990 coming in from the top. Look there, AWOL is 990, if I'm not mistaken. Get some reports of that SID. I'm assuming it's doing pretty well. Well, it's kind of out of position right now, or getting pushed back, but. Good fighting. Oh, well, come back and visit this again. That's really interesting now. I guess they just pushed in. They had a big ball push in the last minute, so cool. Yeah, so again, if you're that Skippy, you probably want to stay with the murder ball. Do not be caught out there by yourself. Where is this Pelagius going? He's turned to fight now. Okay, he's almost out. So, 2 players over getting some good value on the backside. Again, stalkers haven't been cleared out, but they shouldn't be, right? If you're having this much trouble contesting, trying to get people out of the ruins, that should not be your focus. So that's the beauty of Belisarius, right? He doesn't do a lot of damage. You know, he debuffs some, but goodness, when you need to get away, he can get away for you. So yeah, I don't know if I'd go back through the big middle of that murder ball, but probably it is faster than walking the rest of the way around, I guess. Oh yeah, he's out of there. He's gonna make it. Let's hop back over here to this other side. That was some interesting fighting that going on over here. All right, looks like 90's push all the way back out now. Oh goodness, here it is. So still, runes have not been captured. A couple of more stalkers. I think there's stalkers. Right? Stalkers walking around. I wonder who they're using as a secondary to double C on a lot of these. Pelagius, maybe. If you're wanting to go super fast, you could use a Belisarius. But he has the same. They have the same talents. Maybe you just get. I guess you'd get targeted less with a double C primary. More stalkers have spawned in, so not only was it difficult before, now it's just a little bit more difficult getting them cleared out. And like, I get it. The objective is to capture the ruins, but this type of fighting is a lot more fun, in my personal opinion. You know, as long as you have the resources to support it and the speed ups to support it, this is what it's about. This is a lot of fun. Ooh, I see a Joan. I saw a Joan in there. Yeah. So somebody's a team player. I like it. Um, you'll probably want to use, somebody else as a primary. Maybe Ethel Joan would be an awesome buffing, debuffing march. I would be concerned though that Joan's going to get targeted down really, really fast. You can still get away with Ethel these days because the accounts are still really young, and honestly, there are lots of people using Ethelfled. She's legit. She's good. Heck, if you had Ethelfled YSG, I don't know, I talked about that a little while ago, but that'd be another super solid march. Do lots of damage, lots of debuffing. Maybe a little bit squishy, but good. Still lots of stalkers in there in the mix. Maybe the stalkers will take the ruins. You never know. We'll see if we can get some reports. Again, I'd love to see, a whale, 60 something million power, really, really good tech. I would assume those commanders are pretty solid, especially if they spun the wheel that much for them. I would bet they're getting some pretty good trades, if I had to guess. Somebody remind me, does Thos do area effect damage? I was like, I think he's good already, but like if he's got area effect damage, might be a lot better. Yeah, 3 targets, 1,000 damage factor. So I guess the answer is he's just legit better than Sid, right? Is that a true statement? A little bit of attack, a little bit of march speed. Increase skill damage taken by 15%. Yeah, Thutmose is pretty legit. Now the problem is, do you invest in him? I don't know. Maybe if you're a big whale, season 1, Thutmose YSG is probably the super legit rally. I think he's just better than El Cid though, but I don't know if you invest in him. I don't think you invest in him. Unless you're in season 1 and you're a whaley whale. The whales whales. Spin those gems. That was from the north side, I guess, from 89, I guess. So, and this is exciting too. I'm probably gonna try to capture a little bit of their passes opening and some of the rallies and defenses. Everything's just very different. Early game is a similar game, but as far as the commanders use, the what's acceptable rallies, what's not, it's kind of the Wild West in a lot of ways. Yeah, I'm assuming most players in this position are going to be kind of resource strapped. You're putting all your resources into upgrading your account. Hopefully, you have multiple farms by now, right? You should have, well, I guess you're going to start 2 accounts, so at least 1 farm, right, in this kingdom, whatever kingdom you're in, to kind of help you out with resources. But even with 1 farm and you're trying to power that account up, that's difficult to do, and have plenty of resources anyway. It appears like 9-2 is pushing back into the ruins. This is a super solid fight. Probably no one's gonna win. So yes, it looks like what keeps happening is 90 keeps getting pushed out. They go back and regroup. They push all the way back in and rinse and repeat for 91. Right? They'll get pushed back. They'll regroup, push all the way back in. This is a good fight too. It's just not quite as consistent as the one on the other side. Was it the 98 or 89 and 92 side? We'll try to get a few more reports and we'll look at them before we move on. K90 Slayer. I like it. Little toxic. I like it. He's been over here fighting on the left and right hand side. We asked for get a few reports from them too. Oof. Run away. Run away, Boudica. This is not where you want to be at. Yeah, I think Boudica buffs and debuffs pretty well. If I remember correctly. It's not a bad march to bring to a fight. I think there's probably other places you could go. I'm sure I missed her out there. Do I think there's some other places you could go? Yeah, I think there's some more places you could go. I'm not seeing many Osmonds. Now, I guess you're going to use Osmond as a secondary most of the time, but 1100 damage factor. What is it? I guess 1500 damage factor. 10% capacity. Yeah. Yeah, 1500 damage factor, that's better than some legendaries, Example, look at Sid. Look at, well, what's Thutmose? He was 1,000 too, yeah. So he has AOE, but yeah, he's not bad. Look at Osmond. Yeah, I don't know if I can tell because I'm not in the kingdom, but I'm assuming they've captured the ruins. Well, I guess I could go up here and check. I don't think these are contested. Yeah, you can see they've got their mark on there. So yeah, so I guess it puts their flag on there when they capture them. So this one's been captured. This one's over. This one's still hotly contested. I like it. All right. Hey, this is Evil from the future. A few more players have sent me some reports. So kind of interesting to go over those right now. Again, a guy from I think it was 990 sent me this. Thutmose YSG 4111. So again, kind of temper expectations. You look down here, goes okay, pretty good trades, pretty good trades, and then look right here, and this is a perfect example of why we love this AOE value. You know, Thutmose isn't level 60. His first skill is not 5. And look at YSG, what is he? 5.5.2.1. So his YSG is in a really good spot. You can see he has a little more techness than this other player has. But goodness, I would really refrain from bringing Lohar anywhere besides killing some barbs, you know. But again, gets good value off that YSG, that AOE. The second part is from, I think it's Professor's last one I looked at. Hold on. Let me find him. Jack right here. So Jack sent me some, and let's look for what he's got. Level 60 Minamoto, max Minamoto 5351 on the double C. You can see his tech's going to be a little bit better than a lot of people he's going to be fighting. So trades, what is it? 4 to 5 for 1 on that. Trades negatively on this Sun Tzu. Not even a max level Sun Tzu. Interesting. 5531 on the Ethelfled. You can see he's got a lot better tech. I would assume what's happened here is he got hit several times in a row with that AOE, because again, a lot of value being shared there. Looks like I got to kind of focus down this Ethelfled YSG. Not a whole lot to talk about. This one right here, I'm assuming locked onto this guy and kind of ran him all the way into the ground. You can see he actually defeated this March. 5532 Richard Max Sun Tzu. Again, you look at this on paper and go, man, he's that Richard's probably in a really good spot, right? But again, running any March all the way into the ground is not what you want to do. If you can get a March out of there without getting 10, 20, 30,000 severely wounded, especially in a fight of attrition, right? This is going to be kind of a grind out fight for resources, I would assume, by the end of this KVK. That was a really good report too. Yeah, and so like I guess there's probably really, you know, no big surprise again. 2 legendaries, some really good tech, you know, just does wonders against epics. Yeah, this is me from the future. I thought these were pretty interesting reports, and they're kind of what you would assume. But again, if you remember, he did a lot of that fighting on the sides of the ruins, staying out of that AoE, and when he got hit by the AoE, he didn't have quite as good of luck. Again, another march he found and kind of rid all the way down. It's good reports. Right here, it looks like he starts getting swarmed a little bit. Yeah, he got swarmed near the end right here. Herman YSG is a good march in season 1 too. But yep, I thought this was interesting. Look at a few more reports. I appreciate you all. Have a great day. What have we learned today? We've learned that being out of position is really bad. You know, trying to 1v1 a legendary or a whale in season 1 is not the best idea. Staying in your murder ball as much as possible. So I am contemplating about, you know, going back for a season 2. I think I'm going to do that after this next KVK. Some of the things to think about is, you know, what marches am I going to bring? I've been thinking about that for a few days now. And where do I want to put my sculptures? You know, this is what I kind of came up with as far as hold on, minor technical difficulties. This is what I thought about on the right hand side as far as my save slots of people I would bring back. I don't really know if this is the best way to go about it. My Freddy's almost maxed. My Julius Caesar's almost maxed. And, you know, I'm talking 10, 15 sculptures. I can max both of those. And also I have a Constantine almost maxed too. And the reason why I bring that up is because I'm going to have to craft one more set of epic gear. So if I decide to go with 2 sets of archers, I need to get another set of archer gear, and if I go with my infantry, I need to craft another set of infantry gear. But I guess that decision is yet to be made and will be made in a few weeks. So again, my plans are to keep doing some of these different, I wouldn't say streams, but videos over ruins fights. Probably going back to season 2 here in a few weeks whenever some passes open over there. I appreciate you all. Thanks for watching the video, especially if you stuck in it this long. Have a good day.